Imagine this moment. It's probably happened to you within the past 30 days. It's 5:30 p.m. on Friday evening. You've just wrapped up another grueling 45-hour work week. Your body sits in your vehicle or on public transit, but mentally you're completely depleted. As you head home, the thought of preparing dinner feels as daunting as scaling a mountain. So you open a food delivery app. Thai cuisine, pizza, burgers, whatever arrives costs $45, including gratuity and delivery. You arrive home, pop open a cold beer, or pour yourself wine to decompress, then collapse onto your couch to mindlessly stream a series you don't particularly enjoy just to shut down your brain. You justify it. I deserve this. I put in the hours all week. But what if I revealed that mathematically you didn't merely spend $45? What if I demonstrated that the pizza, the fuel consumed during your commute, the professional attire you wore to the workplace, and the stress that compelled you to order takeout in the first place are all hidden deductions, slashing your actual earnings by approximately 70%? You believe you're trading your time for $30 hourly, but after conducting a forensic financial analysis of your existence, the calculations reveal you might actually be laboring for under $4 per hour. I'm Brad, and I dedicate far too much mental energy analyzing the invisible formulas governing our lives and keeping us trapped on hamster wheels spinning faster than we can run. If you're someone who examines your paycheck wondering where everything disappears, or if you sense you're working harder in late 2025 than ever before, yet your savings remain stagnant, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Today, we're not discussing investment strategies. We're exposing an accounting fraud not perpetrated by corporations, but one you unknowingly commit against yourself every time you accept employment based solely on gross salary. We're going to calculate your authentic hourly compensation. And I must warn you, once you see this figure, you'll never view a price tag identically again. The fundamental deception. Here's the core lie we're all fed from graduation day forward. We're taught that our worth is measured by annual salary. If you earn $65,000 yearly, that's roughly $31 hourly. Sounds respectable, livable, theoretically. But in the corporate world, examining revenue while ignoring expenses is the express lane to bankruptcy. If a bakery sells $1 million in bread but spends $1 million on ingredients and overhead, that bakery has zero value. Yet regarding our own labor, we exclusively examine revenue, the salary. We completely disregard the cost of goods sold. And the commodity being sold is you, your life, your energy. The expense of selling yourself to an employer is staggering. Auditing the average worker. Let's conduct a ruthless audit of a hypothetical average worker in this economy. We'll call him James. James earns that respectable $31 hourly, but before that money touches his account, the government extracts its portion. Between federal tax, state tax, and FICA, that $31 instantly shrinks to approximately $24. That's the straightforward calculation. Everyone knows this. Now we must subtract work-related expenses costs James pays exclusively for the privilege of employment. The commute. The average American spends thousands annually on fuel, vehicle maintenance, and insurance merely to reach the location where they earn money. If he drives 30 minutes each direction, that's where and depreciation on a vehicle he essentially owns only for work access. If he takes public transit, it's the monthly pass. Conservatively, this costs him $4,000 yearly. Appearance costs. James can't roll out of bed and arrive at the office in sleepwear. He needs business casual clothing, dry cleaning, professional appearance. That's an expense. The convenience tax. This is the major one. Because James occupies the office from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., he purchases lunch twice weekly because meal preparation wasn't feasible. He buys the $5 coffee because caffeine is necessary to survive the 2 p.m. meeting. He pays for dog walking because he's absent to let the dog out. These are expenses that wouldn't exist without the job. He's spending money to work, decompression spending. This is the darkest category. This is money James spends to numb the job's pain. The Friday night bar tab, the impulsive vacation booked because escape is necessary, therapy bills, retail therapy, money spent healing the psychological damage the job inflicts. When you total these monetary cost stacks, transportation, clothing, lunches, numbness, James isn't taking home $65,000. His genuine net income approaches $35,000. The time deception. But we're only halfway through the equation, because wage equals money divided by time. Just as we overestimate the money, we drastically underestimate the time. HR claims James works 40 hours weekly, but that's false. James wakes at 6:30 a.m. to shower, shave, and prepare his appearance. That's 30 minutes of employer-directed labor. He commutes 30 minutes to work in paid labor. He takes an hour for lunch, technically off the clock, but he can't go home, can't nap, can't engage with his children. He's held captive by the office. Then 30 minutes commuting home. Upon arrival, he spends 30 minutes decompressing, staring blankly, venting to his partner about management, checking emails on his device. All of this is shadow labor. Time belonging to the job, but the job doesn't compensate for it. If you sum the grooming, commuting, decompressing, and worrying, James isn't working 40 hours weekly. He's dedicating 55 to 60 hours weekly to his employment. The real calculation. So now, the genuine mathematics, the authentic hourly wage calculation, we take that diminished net income of $35,000 and divide it by the inflated true hours of nearly 3,000 annually. When you enter that into a calculator, that $31 hourly evaporates. Suddenly, James is earning $11 hourly, or $8, or in some high-stressed, high-cost-of-living scenarios, he's mathematically earning less than the teenager working the fast food counter down the street, because the teenager walks to work, wears a provided uniform, and leaves stress at the fryer station. This is the employment scam. You've been deceived into a high-turnover, low-margin business model where you are the product and you're selling yourself at a loss. Making this math work for you? Look, I understand this sounds depressing. You might be thinking, great, Brad, I'm financially struggling and my job is terrible. Thanks for the update. But the purpose of this mathematics isn't depression, it's to generate anger and, more importantly, efficiency. Once you know your authentic hourly wage, your entire perspective on consumption transforms. This concept was popularized by the book Your Money or Your Life, and it's the antidote to being broke. Suppose you calculate your real hourly wage and it's $10 hourly. Now you enter a store and see new shoes for $100. The price tag says $100, but your brain must translate that isn't $100. That's 10 hours of your life. 10 hours of sitting in traffic, managing passive-aggressive emails, and missing your family. Is that pair of shoes worth 10 hours of suffering? Suddenly, the answer is almost invariably no. The golden handcuffs trap. This mathematics exposes the trap of golden handcuffs. We often accept promotions offering more money, but accompanied by exponentially higher expenses. Suppose you're promoted to manager. They offer a $10,000 raise. Fantastic, right? But now you must work late nightly, so you order takeout every evening. You must purchase nicer suits. You need a second vehicle because carpooling no longer works. Your stress levels skyrocket, so you book more expensive vacations. You might discover your real hourly wage actually decreases after promotion. You're processing more money through your bank account, but retaining less of it and surrendering more of your life to obtain it. The hidden opportunity cost. There's also a terrifying hidden opportunity cost. When you spend money on working expenses, the commute, convenience, food, you're robbing your future self of compound interest. That $5 daily on coffee because you're too exhausted to brew it at home? Over 30 years invested at 7%, that's nearly $200,000. You aren't just drinking coffee, you're drinking your retirement. You're drinking your freedom. The system depends on you being too exhausted to perform this calculation. They depend on you being a passive consumer of your own existence. They want you thinking, I make good money, so you continue signing the lease on the luxury apartment and financing the premium vehicle, keeping you trapped in the cycle of needing the job to afford the things you purchase, to tolerate the job. The solution: optimize your real wage. What's the solution? How do we break this equation? The answer isn't necessarily quitting tomorrow and living off-grid. We must be realistic. We have obligations. The solution is ruthlessly optimizing your real hourly wage. This becomes your new success metric. Not income, but efficiency. Can you negotiate working remotely twice weekly? If you save 2 hours of commuting and $10 in fuel, you've just given yourself a substantial raise without the company paying anything additional. Can you meal prep on Sundays? That reduces your cost of goods sold. Can you relocate closer to work? Can you stop concerning yourself with coworkers' opinions of your wardrobe? Every dollar of work expense you eliminate is a dollar of pure freedom. Treat your labor like a business. But the biggest transformation is psychological. You must start treating your labor like a business. A smart business owner doesn't merely attempt increasing revenue, they attempt increasing margin. Your life is the business. Your margin is the time and money remaining for you to actually be human. If you're earning $100,000 yearly but spending $95,000 in 80 hours weekly generating it, you're a failing business. You're Enron, you're awaiting collapse. But if you earn $50,000 yearly, spend $20,000, and work 30 hours weekly, you're a highly profitable, robust enterprise. You're winning. Take action this weekend. This is where the negative epiphany transforms into positive action. I want you to sit down this weekend not when you're exhausted Friday, but when you're fresh Sunday on. Run the numbers. Calculate your commute expense, estimate your taxes, be honest about your decompression spending, divide your net pay by your total hours committed to employment. Write that number on a sticky note and attach it to your credit card. My real wage is $8.50. The next time you're about to purchase something frivolous, look at that number. Ask yourself, am I willing to exchange for hours of my life for this plastic junk? That friction will save you more money than any budgeting app ever could. Time is the ultimate currency. We're living in an era where time is becoming the ultimate currency. The wealthy are purchasing time, the poor are selling it at a discount. Don't sell your time at a discount. Audit your life. Eliminate the vampire costs associated with your job and start building a gap between your income and your expenses. That gap is where your freedom lives. If this video made you reconsider your paycheck, share it with a coworker who looks exhausted. We're all in this identical trap, but we can calculate our way out of it together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.